You'll notice in our last example, we did not have to set our first state prop 1 when calling our setState method. And this is the third aspect of updating state. React will merge the old state with the new state. This means that if you change one property of state, the other ones are not affected. To see how this works, let's create another function called changeState2, and let's keep our first changeState function as is. In the second function, let's use string concatenation to add a L to the string of state prop 1. Let's also create another button to update the second state property and keep the first one as is. And let's also display state prop 1. Let's save everything and go back to our browser. If you see that clicking each button updates the corresponding state prop, clearly this shows that React automatically merges the state behind the scenes. If it did not, each state prop would go back to its original default value whenever we click the opposite button. In summary, this is essentially how you would update the state if the state has more than one property. In the setState, only update the single property you want to change. React will make sure behind the scenes that the new property merges with your old state. So there's also a couple of more small nuances about changing state that you should be aware of. So far we've been updating one state property at a time, but it's also possible to update multiple properties in the same setState call. Let's try this. Let's copy the code from the changeState2 function and copy it into the first changeState function. We would not use a separate code block for the second state property. You would just separate them with a comma. If we save and see, we do see that it is working. Another small point is that you're not limited to using setState with a certain property only once. We can keep the code as is, and if we click the second button, the state updates as it should. So we can update the same property in multiple ways. If we call setState on a property once, we can also call setState again on the same property in a different method. There's nothing stopping us from doing this.